Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty P here. Panini Podcast. Going direct. Joined by
El Jefe.
El Jefe. And where have you been, bro?
I've been getting a tan, obviously.
I came in here to film. The camera was there, and then there was no El Jefe, but there was also nobody behind to push record. So we haven't been on in like 2 weeks.
I know. I've been sitting out in the sun, as you can see, for about 14, 15 days in a row.
Nice.
Getting tan. I had a little vacation. Our videographer Matt had a vacation, but I missed you, so I just wanted to tell you that on camera.
All right, well, I appreciate it. It's not coming back. But hey, anyway, man, so lots happened since you were gone. Since you were gone. Well, I've been breathing, so I can't say that I've been breathing.
Well, you got your heart put back in, right?
I got my heart put back in. We've had product coming out.
A lot of products.
There's really hasn't been any great sports moments because everything kind of ended.
Everything is kind of on hiatus, which is why I thought, hey, if I'm going to take a week off, this is a good time.
I really don't believe he planned it that way, but I mean, anyway, it worked out good.
It could have had something to do with the 4th of July, but I would rather spin it the other way.
Yeah, but we're like, because I'm a Husker fan, right? And Huskers going to play in the first football game of the season, and it's less than 40. It's 47 days away, I think it is. So less than 50 days, we'll have college football.
Who
and in like 3 weeks, there'll be pro football, albeit the Hall of Fame game. But
who are the Huskers playing?
Northwestern in Ireland.
In Ireland?
Yep.
It's an odd.
They travel well.
Game. Do they?
They do.
Very cool. NBA Summer League's going on this week.
It is.
We have a booth or something going on there, right?
We're a big sponsor of NBA Summer League. Yeah, we sponsor it every year. It's where a lot of the young guys go, so we get signings done. And then as you also has pulled into this event is like a makeshift rookie photo shoot.
Right.
So they're going to be doing that over the next couple of days.
Lots of signings, so you guys will be getting redemptions back, which everybody loves. Signings with a lot of young players. Who of that class are you excited about, if anybody?
Ooh, that's a good question because, you know, I don't follow basketball as much as like I follow like football.
Right.
But, you know, I was surprised to see Paolo go one because a lot of people were saying Chet or Jaden Ivey were going to go one, or Jabari was going to go one. But I don't know. I think any one of those three could be good.
Yep.
I said Jaden Ivey. I mean, he's one of our exclusives, so I'm always kind of excited to see him.
Absolutely.
But, you know, I don't know. I think it's once you get past about the top 5, it becomes a kind of a crapshoot as to who's going to make it. But, man, I mean, I don't know. Everybody says don't put too much stock into Summer League, but Chet's looking good at Summer League.
Chet is looking very good. I was going to bring him up. I'm excited about Jaden Hardy, who the Mavs got late. I think he may have been a steal. Obviously, we have an exclusive with him too, so having him in Dallas is going to be fun. Potential content. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting class to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah. I also saw that picture, that zoomed in picture of Chet's leg that looks like I can floss my teeth with it. I could definitely fit his leg through that tooth right there. But I don't know how that guy's going to make it, man.
I mean... Yes, he's a skinny dude. I wish at some point in life people were like, Jeff, we got to beef you up. You got to eat everything in sight. You got to pack on some muscle. Nice. But yeah, I think.
Do they call you Jeff or do they say El Jefe?
Well, they say El Jefe. You're right.
They call you that. Only your close friends.
I use Jeff for the
only your mom
fake
calls
story.
You Jeff.
Right.
Everybody calls you.
She called me Jeffrey if we're being real. Yeah.
Wow.
I felt like I was in trouble the minute you said that.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's just a conditioned response.
Jeffrey wasn't like the Toys R Us.
The giraffe?
Giraffe called Jeffrey?
Yeah, it sure was.
Man, I'm going to picture, anytime I picture you, I'm going to picture the giraffe.
Me on a giraffe body.
Yeah.
I look like Chet.
Your head, you look like Chet. Yeah,
perfect.
Your head on Chet's body.
Talk to us about the National. You are in charge of the booth at the National. Panini has an exceptional footprint at that show. What is it like prepping that?
It's stressful, man. I mean, you know, a lot goes into it. Just a lot of people, they show up to our booth, they see the booth, the light fixtures and all that, and they say, wow, I can't imagine what goes into it. Somebody asked me the other day, when does the preparation start for the national? And I said it starts the day after the national ends.
Yeah,
it's a year-round project, and from the card sets we make to the booth design to the booth layout to the party. We added a second party this year. We have dinners planned. We have distributor dinners. We have direct dinners. And there's something every day that takes place. And we're sponsoring, the road show trade night that's gonna take the official trade night Thursday night.
Awesome.
So we have something planned every night, and so with that comes planning and organization on everything, and then just making sure everybody's got what they need from customer service, and making sure that they can do what they can to do the redemption trade outs and sales, and Panini Authentic is going to be there. So just making sure everybody's got what they need.
Yeah. As Scotty mentioned, Thursday night is the road show trade night that we're going to be sponsoring of. Friday night is the Prism NFT party, which is the first time we've done that. It's going to be awesome. A lot of cool stuff going into that, which will be announced shortly. And then Saturday night is the Panini VIP party, which everybody knows is a big deal at the show. So I've never been. I'm excited. This is my first time going to the VIP. Obviously, I'm going to be working there, but
you can go for me.
I'm pretty excited. You want me to take your spot?
Yeah, you can take my spot. I'll give you.
You'd rather go to sleep early?
Yeah, well, I will go to sleep early. Don't worry about that.
Also, I should mention that Saturday, it's looking like we're going to have 2 hours on the main stage. We're trying to put together some panels, some fun stuff.
The main stage, like they're going to go, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, on the main stage, El Jefe! Give it up for El Jefe!" Like that main stage?
I hope so.
Or
I was expecting kind of like a Bruce Buffer voice, but
I don't really want to visualize.
It's time.
What you'd be wearing on the main stage, but.
Dude, it's going to be probably a Hawaiian shirt of some sort.
Yeah, and trust me, I've seen the wardrobe.
Yeah. I do have an exceptional Hawaiian wardrobe. Okay, let's talk about releases. This week we got some cool stuff going out. We are going to do National Treasures basketball first off the line. That was released this week. 2021 Chronicles NFL football hobby going out this week. We have 2021 Donruss Optic football first off the line this week.
It's upside down for a reason.
And finally, Donruss Optic basketball NFT packs are releasing today. But next week is a monster week.
Monster?
Yes.
I like Monster.
You're gonna love this. So, first off, a little something called National Treasures basketball. Ooh. The hobby version releases next week.
Which I didn't even know. I didn't even see that coming.
Which also means there's at least a small chance we might get to open one for the show next week.
Nah.
Okay. I said small chance.
Small chance.
And
I took it away.
2021 Optic football hobby releases next week.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
That's awesome.
Are you an Optic guy or a Prism guy?
Ooh. That's a good question. I'm probably
you have to be one
Prism.
or the other.
I am
more Prism.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Can't blame me.
Yeah.
It's a good one. So on the,
I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them, but
I totally agree.
I'm more Prism.
It is funny how they kind of coexist together. And as I just put out on a blog, there may or may not have been some Optic cards that were released in Prism basketball. But it's kind of a fun coincidence, and so
it's
now
a sneak peek.
So now there's going to be Optic or Prism released in Optic. So we kind of leaned into that.
Saying that was by accident.
Yeah, it was intentional. I mean, accident.
Yeah.
Okay, this week.
Oh, this week.
You got to meet my buddy. His name's Ty Wilson. He hosts this awesome show called Chasing Cardboard.
Right.
It's essentially American Pickers meets sports cards.
Oh wow. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, you should.
I look forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be on the Jefe hot seat? Whoa.
The Jefe hot seat.
Wow.
So let me go talk to Ty, and then you and I will
turn
come
up
back.
the heat on Ty, dude.
You haven't even met him yet.
Oh.
And then we're gonna come back and open some Chronicles football. Sound good? All right, I'm here with my buddy who hasn't been on the show, hasn't been at the Panini headquarters before, to my knowledge.
No, it's the first time.
Is Ty Wilson, the host of my new favorite hobby show called Chasing Cardboard.
Well,
Ty,
thank you.
It's darn good to see you. Let's do the obligatory handshake.
Yeah. You're sweating.
You make me very nervous. And it's 110 degrees outside. So I've known Ty for several years now. He is the man behind Breaker Culture, which is another great podcast and YouTube show. And then, of course, Bench Clear Media, which is the first and the original all hobby, all sports card network.
And we did that together.
Yeah,
that was you and me's brainchild.
Well, I was involved in early portions of it, and at this point, Ty and a few other folks like Matt and Mike are doing all the heavy lifting. Sure. But it's still going on. It's still flourishing. What's going on at Bench Clear Media these days, by the way?
There's three guys, myself, Mike Moynihan, baseball collector in the vintage community, and Matt Coleman and Tyson Banker, just putting out weekly content.
Awesome. Shout out Tyson. I'm sorry, I didn't mention you. Absolutely should be mentioned, though. Chasing Cardboard is amazing, dude. So just to preface this all, this is a new YouTube show that Ty is doing with Matt Coleman. Matt is the production means behind this show. What you're watching right now, he's literally behind the camera. And it's essentially American Pickers, but sports cards. Yeah. It's literally the show that I've always wanted TV to do. Yeah. And you guys have created a show where you go around the country hunting for sports card collections.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. Like, how did this come about?
Well, it's obviously a passion of mine too, to go around looking for sports cards. I had been doing it anyway, and then Matt, who was the visionary behind the idea, and it was really, exactly what you said, American Pickers. How can we make this show for the hobby world where all of us guys that are just nuts for cards can relate to it? And how can we make it in a way where we can watch it, a 17-year-old can watch it, and grandpa and grandma can get in the room and feel good about watching it too?
Right.
Like how many shows do you have now in the hobby world where it's like, you get your kid and you can say, hey mom, come watch this with me, and it relates to both worlds, and that's what we wanted to create. And so Matt had some great vision with it, and he just said, hey, do this, Ty. Say this, Ty. Don't do this, Ty. And we go across the United States seeing collections and helping people figure out what they got and tell their stories. Telling their stories is the best part about all this, right?
Yeah.
Cards are great, but cards intersect with so many pieces of life, and it's fun to kind of extract that.
I got to touch on something you said in there, because it's something that is really important, and I feel like it gets overlooked in the hobby with content creators. Is our hobby and what we do is something that can translate to a mainstream audience. It doesn't have to be so niche that like just hardcore collectors enjoy it. And you just find an aspect, whether it's the treasure hunting aspect or the stories behind these collections, there's something more relatable out there. And I've always thought, I wish hobby content creators created something that would appeal to a broader audience instead of it all being so inside. And of course, there are those moments where you're talking about a card that most people won't latch on to what the significance is behind that.
Yeah.
But a good story, everybody can relate to that. And obviously, finding cool vintage items that have a lot of value and have, history behind them, people can relate to that as well. So I'm happy you guys are going for a more grand audience, because I wish the hobby thought big picture more.
I agree with you. Yeah, it's really easy to fall into the trap of kind of getting cheap clicks, cheap views.
Sure.
You can open a box, you can talk about the hits you get, you can go walk around a card show, and you'll get those thousands of views. But if we really want to bring and embrace the rest of the world into the hobby, we have to be willing to tell stories that are bigger than cards.
Agreed. Yeah. And you guys are doing that. I've seen 3 or 4 episodes now.
Okay.
How many episodes do we have?
6 was just released a couple days ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Gosh, you guys are pumping these out. So how, and you don't have to give me all the goods behind this, but the show is based, and all the stories are based around these private collections.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go about finding these? It's not like, I mean, maybe there are flyers up at grocery stores in small town America, but like, how do you find these?
It's the first few are hard.
Sure.
Right, because no one knows who you are.
That's a good point.
You got to put your name out there and say, hey, we're going to come with the camera and we're going to produce a really good show.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
So when we got the pilot done, it changed everything, because we found a couple Craigslist collections. We took a risk. We bought a couple collections we didn't really want to buy, but we needed to for this show.
Right.
We got the pilot done, and then once we started getting episodes out there, I would say more than half of our leads come from people watching the show now.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. We have a collections at chasingcardboard.tv email address, and people. It's in our show notes. We get 2 or 3 a week from really unique collections that people say, "Hey, can you come out and see mine?" And we have to vet them. We have to vet them out now, which is kind of fun. It's
right.
like
They're coming to you. I mean, that's the dream right there.
It is the dream.
How many states have you guys been in?
It's a good question. We've probably been in 7 states right now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Gosh. And 7 states, 6 episodes. So you guys...
We're moving around right now.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you're traveling around the country. Yeah. You're meeting all these interesting people, hearing their stories. What are some of the most, impressive collectibles you've seen?
Impressive collectibles.
And don't give it away if it's a spoiler alert for an episode coming up, but I'm just curious. I know you've seen a ton.
Yeah, we've seen a ton. I mean, there's some good cards that we've seen, and some of them we haven't been able to buy, right?
Really?
Sometimes we just can't come to a deal. We still have to make the numbers work, and some people geek out on that, right?
Sure.
Where they love seeing us negotiate and figure out the numbers, and other people just want to hear the story. But
and for those who don't know Ty, he is a numbers guy.
Yes.
He is very much a numbers guy.
Yeah. There's one coming up that I kind of gave you a little bit of some inside info, and we just got, and it's grandiose.
Really?
Over 5 million cards that we end up closing the deal on, and it's a crazy story. It took us a 26-foot U-Haul and an entire day of loading to get this thing done, but we got it, and we started just briefly looking into the collection, and we probably have a stack of 40 Kevin Durant rookies that we pulled out of it in about 5 minutes, and we're like, uh-oh. We might have just come across something there.
That's why I wonder. So, do you? So you got to think. If for those of you who haven't bought a collection before, it's a very overwhelming process. So you get in, you essentially only have an opportunity to have a cursory look at what you're buying. So you have to try to get an idea, like a sample of a lot of different boxes. But when we're talking 5 or 6 million cards, how did you look at 1 million cards? Did you look at 100 cards? And did you just go box to box and try to get a feel for what each box may contain just based on a sample?
Yeah, so with that one it was interesting because it was a blind bid from somebody who died. It was working through probate court, a silent auction. We got to see 4 pictures.
Oh my gosh, this is based on 4 pictures.
4 pictures, and in fact, of a couple of pictures, we had a couple of Mickey Mantles in it. They disappeared from the collection.
Oh, you're kidding.
So the story will be crazy because what happens when we're there, we're like, what the heck?
Just a couple mantles.
Just a couple mantles.
Nothing to see here.
Oh my goodness, and some other vintage, but it all worked out. It was a great family. Some friends showed up from the guy that died. It was just a neat story, but. There's been some other ones where just extracting the story of family members and why people collect, why they're selling cards to provide for their family to do this, or because somebody else collected and they want to connect with another person. All those stories. Yeah. It just makes you appreciate how rich sports card collecting can be. You get caught up in the numbers all the time, flipping, doing this and this, and you go to shows and you trade and you sell and you buy. But a lot of times it means so much more to people.
Right.
And I love that.
I think I've only purchased a couple of collections, probably a handful my entire life. And I think I had a couple of individuals that I can think of. The fact that I was a collector and not just immediately pushing these off to somebody else, but collected myself. They knew they could relate to me on that level, and I think it's good to develop some trust, but also let them know that you appreciate these cards. A lot of these people have been collecting for their lifetime, or the person's cards they were collecting for a lifetime. So they like to know that you're someone who actually cares about sports cards, and you appreciate the stories, and you appreciate how much work went into building this collection versus being a cold person that walks in and throws some cash and walks out. And I know you are that person too, but I bet that's served you well
for sure
with the collections you've come across.
For sure. Well, and you asked, how do we price stuff?
Yeah.
When you have a collection that we've seen a couple that are probably close to 1 million cards, and you walk in, you can kind of tell the eras they collected.
Yeah.
So the odds of finding good cards. If it's late 80s to early 90s stuff, you know you're going to bid pennies on the dollar, if anything.
Right.
But if it's late 90s, early 2000s stuff, you know, like you're going to up your bid. I always look at what's the quickest way to get the break even.
Got it.
I'm not sitting on like sunk cost.
Yeah.
That's how I process things. And so we're real quickly, Matt and I are just kind of bouncing numbers off each other before we throw something out there. Because most people don't say, hey, I want to sell it to you for this much. They don't know.
Sure.
They want to see what you say.
Especially a giant collection. It's hard to price those.
It is. And it's tough too. When you're there with all this gear and we're there, like we've committed to traveling to it, they know they kind of got us, right?
Yeah, that's a
we
good
want
point.
to buy that collection.
Right.
So you have to balance all of that and make an offer that serves our time well.
So keeping all this inventory and just in general, the space it takes up at a house or a storage unit, do you try to immediately make your money back and then have what's left over knowing that's kind of your margin?
Yeah, so we quickly earmark. We have a couple storage units in different states, as you would assume.
As you should.
As we should. They need to be climate controlled. You keep reminding me of that.
Yes, climate controlled. If you, especially any era, I'll just say climate control is ideal.
Yeah, we have a good network of people we know will buy stuff.
Got it.
We can avoid eBay in a lot of situations, but we grade a lot of cards. You know, we build a stack almost immediately of cards that we're going to send into SGC and or PSA.
Got it.
And we get those out quick. Because once you get the graded cards back, they're easier to flip, they're easier to kind of move through the system, you know. And so like that's the biggest thing. Like identify your stack of potential grades. The rest will take care of itself over time. Go to shows and all that stuff.
Gosh, man, it's so exciting. I mean, who wouldn't want to be able to travel the country and do fun stuff like this?
Yeah.
Did you have a certain point where you had to decide whether you were going to commit to this or not? Obviously, you have a lot going on. You have a wonderful family. You have work. Like, at what point? How did you jump all the way in? Because it seemed like you're fairly committed to this at this point.
Yeah. We got episode 1 done and we pitched a few TV networks.
Okay.
And the pilot episode was received very well.
It has like over 100. I think it was released 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It has over 100,000 views already organically, which is beautiful.
Organically.
But I'm sorry. Good.
Yeah. So we pitched a few networks and they came back and said, this is TV quality. This could be on TV, but we don't feel the sports card audience is big enough for broadcast.
Okay.
And so Matt and I took that as a challenge. Okay, we'll prove you wrong.
Yeah.
We'll go the direct to YouTube route. Let's build up a community and a following, and let's go back to them after 10, 12 episodes and say, hey, what do you think now? And so that's been kind of the, I guess, mantra as we put our best foot forward each and every episode. Because you're right, after 3 episodes, it's like, wait a second, we fronted how much money to get this done?
Sure.
We need to see a payoff on this, right? And there is some payoff with collections, but it's really expensive to travel and to film and to do all this stuff on the road. So we're taking a shot. We're just doing what we love to do, and as long as we can do it. I would not be doing it if I didn't have Matt, though. Matt's one of those guys. It's just like he's one of the best dudes I've ever met in the hobby.
Yes.
Regardless of what happens, like I know I'd be close friends with Matt the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So working with him made it all worth it.
I 100% agree with the sentiment about Matt Coleman. If you guys have met him, he goes to shows. Like, he's a legit collector. You'll probably see him at Dallas Card Show all the time. Wonderful guy, does incredible work, and he's so easy to work with. So I'm fortunate to have him for this show. We're all fortunate to have Matt in our life.
Agreed.
As friends and business associates.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's some of the stranger things you've seen in these people's houses? You're going, because you're not just walking into the entryway and having the collection there. Like, you got to go down in the basement, you got to go down into the collector room or whatever it is. Like, have you seen some creepy stuff?
I wouldn't say creepy. There's been a couple moments though where Matt and I have kind of given each other the eye. We've actually come up with some signals where, like, if we needed to escape,
like Navy SEAL signals?
more or less like code words.
Okay.
Like rated rookie refractor. Something that doesn't exist. Like, we're out. Like, get your stuff and go.
Got it.
And I always told him, like, I would be the first one to go get the car.
Yeah.
And I'll loop back around to grab him.
Got it.
Hopefully, loop back around to grab him. But there's been a couple situations where, like, we walk in and you got a guy who's got all this stuff in a garage in Houston.
Okay.
And he's out there smoking cigarettes. And it's like, okay, first off, you shouldn't have your stuff in a garage. Trying to sell your collection for $50,000 and smoking cigarettes. But then there's been a situation where we went to southern part of Oregon. We don't have phone reception.
Oof.
And we get out there, and it's a beautiful like compound, and we go out and see a collection. They invite us to stay the night because we end up realizing the collection's so big. So we stay the night at a person's house.
Well, that was nice of them to offer.
Oh, and it was a great experience, but at the time we're thinking, what did we just do? What is happening right now? But most of the time, like, we vetted out a little bit, as much as we can beforehand, so we know that we're not walking into something really crazy.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because as much as I love you guys doing the show, I also don't want you guys to end up getting, tied up in someone's basement.
I might just share our coordinates, share my iPhone location services with you.
That's good. Yeah. Whenever you go.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to come out there from here. I'm in Oregon. Come on out. Okay, so we mentioned episode 1 is killing it. Has over 100,000 views. What do you feel is the secret behind content thriving like that? Because, a lot of us make lots of content. We push out to some have bigger audiences than others.
Yeah.
But to get a bunch of people to click on it and watch it, there's an art to that.
There is an art to that. I mean, we could get really in depth with the YouTube algorithm and how that stuff works. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to get people to click on your show, and you have to get people to stick around to watch it.
Yeah.
Those are the two main components of any sort of content creation success.
Right.
And so we learned pretty early on, like, we have to put extra time into our thumbnail, and we have to put a lot of time into capturing them early on in the episode. That initial hook and that first 5 minutes needs to be great.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be great, but that's got to be really good.
Sure.
Right? It can't be the most boring part of the episodes up front.
For the people that are uncertain, you've got people that are there, loyal watchers that are they want to see the whole episode because they've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
But then you got some new people or people that are maybe have other options, and let's be honest, we all have way too many viewing options these days.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's really key in that open to hook them early on, and then
get them hooked, and then once they're in and they're watching, they start to see the storytelling. You can start to grab different audiences. YouTube rewards you if you do things the right way. That's what we've learned. I mean, absolutely. The organic growth that you talked about, I mean, that only happens because YouTube sees that you're, first off, getting people to click on your stuff, and they're not leaving. They're sticking around to watch it. Wow. And they're just going to keep putting those impressions out there, and the more impressions they put out, the more views you get, and that's how you get organic growth. The frustrating part that I think a lot of content creators find is that they create a good episode, and then they try to do it again second, third time, and they think if they don't get another 100,000 views that it's a failure.
Right.
Like episode 2, 3, 4 for us is 25, 30,000 views.
Yeah.
Which by any normal standards for us would be a success.
Sure.
But you think, well, why doesn't it get 100,000 views?
Yeah.
And each episode stands on its own. You have to hit the algorithm a different way. You have to be creative and be willing to just put your reputation on the line each and every episode and try new things. It's
totally agree.
It's tough. If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to have the same audience over and over again.
Yeah.
That's what people have a hard time understanding. And it'll take forever to grow your audience.
Again, I'm a fan of the show. One of the things I really love about it is the fact that it's storytelling. It's not just some goofball named Jeff opening up packs on a show.
Who would watch that?
No one would watch that. It's literally it's family friendly, which is great for the audience. It's based around storytelling. And then you guys, there are payoffs. There are fun payoffs throughout the way. I think you guys have a really good formula going on. But like you said, don't get frustrated if some of the episodes don't get 100,000 because it's just the nature of the beast. There's so much else out there. It's tough. But dude, if you get 25,000 views per episode, the rest of the time you're doing series, I would consider that massive success too. Yeah. So let's talk about as a collector. You go into these collections and there's 5 or 6 million cards in there.
Yeah.
How do you? Is it all just self-control and knowing that like there needs to be a business aspect of this purchase, or how do you decide what you're going to keep for your own PC, and how do you decide what's going to end up on the eBay or whatever platform we're going with?
Yeah. So I would say that the thing I learned early on is that as a part of this, I really had to narrow my PC focus. Because it's really easy, especially when you start seeing stuff you haven't seen before, to think that belongs in my PC.
Of course.
But the numbers have to work at the end of the day for this to keep going. You know, it can't just be a money sucking, time drain. And my wife at the end of the day is like, Ty, this is not working, right? The balance sheet has to work out for Matt and I. And so let's have a narrow focus on our PC and we find cool things, maybe expand a little bit, but the rest just has to keep moving to support the show. And if you have that mindset, I still get to see all the cool cards. Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, I get to see all the cool stuff. So for me, it's like that's a win regardless, and I get to tell someone's story. So I'll be okay with not collecting everything.
I think that's great advice. Just kind of narrowing the focus of your PC, because when you're buying these massive collections, like it's really easy to, I'm starting a new aspect of my PC now that I got this cool thing. But ultimately, somebody else probably wants it more than you do.
Yeah.
And it's good to get that, shared around the community. But man, it's got to be tough. It's like walking into a hobby shop that you just purchased. Like, what do I do now? Like, I want to open every pack, and I want to put every card in on my PSA registry, and it must be must take a lot of self-control.
We walked into a collection this past week with the 5 million cards.
Yeah.
And they had probably 150, 200,000 sealed packs.
Oh,
and it's stuff that you and I can relate to, like early 2000s basketball.
Yes. I love that stuff.
The self-control it took. I mean, I'd be lying to say that I didn't open a few packs while loading stuff up, right? It's like, hey guys, come here, let's open. Let's find a Durant rookie in here.
Of course.
But that type of stuff is just, you look at it thinking, what could be in there? It's hard.
It is. I'm not great at keeping sealed wax, just in general, but I can imagine talking about thousands of packs from era you don't see very often. Oh my gosh, that must be difficult.
Yeah, I found Matt a couple times in the bathroom taking extended breaks, and I'm like, I hear rustling with
it sounds
foil.
like packs are being ripped.
Yeah.
What percentage would you say? Because you meet a lot of people, and you said not all the sales went through. What percentage of the deals that you approach go through, and do you only put the ones that work in the show?
Yeah, I would say right now it's probably 50-50.
Okay. That's real.
Yeah, and we try to put in the episodes, we try to put at least 2 deals, and preferably one that we don't get and one that we do get. Okay. And it's hard because you have to map all this out, and sometimes you get them all, right? And so you just have to deal with that. But it's good. I think it's good for people to see how you can say no and how you can negotiate in a very healthy, respectful way.
Sure.
It's good business lessons, right? I mean,
it is.
And we've had comments about that. Just it's good to see that. You don't have to give in to somebody, or you don't have to be super aggressive. You can be respectful and still become a friend in the hobby.
Right. Well, I think really people are tuning in for the stories.
Yeah.
They aren't tuning in just to try to see you guys, buy the biggest collection possible. While that's great viewing, I love that you guys include the ones that don't go through, because I think there's still great story there. We're still getting to see some awesome cards and hear kind of the history behind that. So I think that's important. Back when I was really heavily into Pack Geek, I would open boxes all the time that were just awful. And whether it's a group of packs or a full box. And people all the time would be like, I'm surprised you uploaded this. I'm like, well, I think it's important to show people realistically what they can expect. If I only uploaded the best hits I got, it might be fun, but it's going to give somebody the wrong idea about opening packs or boxes or cases.
For sure.
There's going to be some that aren't great.
Yeah.
And it's just realistic, but also it's kind of watching the show is kind of like opening a box, because sometimes the episodes are great with lots of big hits, and sometimes it's just me. So I'm happy you guys are doing that for the show. I think that's good for the audience.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so you guys have 6 episodes posted
every 2 weeks,
and more in the can. So once every 2 weeks.
We do a new episode every 2 weeks, and in between the off weeks we do a report card video, which we basically break down some cards that we pulled from a collection, what we got graded, what the numbers look like.
Oh, I love
just
that.
to educate the collectors and kind of satisfy that craving from the collector base. And that's fun, right? It's a
I
10-minute
love that
video.
you're doing
just
that.
help
Yeah.
people understand why we graded, what came back, things we learned, some really hard lessons we've learned on a couple of these cards that we thought were big.
Sure.
It didn't come back well. So we do that every 2 weeks. An episode comes out. We have another four to six in the cooker already.
Okay.
Already filmed, and just Matt's got to edit and do all that fun stuff. And
Oh man.
so we'll be through the summer, and then we'll kind of reevaluate and make sure everything's still looking good.
What does the future hold for Chasing Cardboard? What is your goal? Are you able to tell us kind of where you see the series going, or what maybe an ultimate goal is? Is the ultimate goal to put it on Netflix or something, or what are you guys trying to do?
Yeah, I think best case scenario would be we're on a network somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that was the idea going in. Let's build something good enough for the world to see. Right.
Sure.
Let's get it out there. Second best, plan 2A or 1A would be let's build a really good YouTube following, and let's just be the best YouTube hobby series ever created.
Right.
Right, and you can sustain yourself very well doing that too.
Absolutely.
So those are the two paths. Path 3 is it doesn't work, and we put out 12 really good episodes, and that was that. But hopefully that doesn't happen. So
I mean, frankly, you guys could put out 12 episodes, wait 6 months, and still get contacted by a network.
yeah, true.
So I love the model you guys are going with because it gives you complete creative control, which is really nice. Coming from a place I've had people meddling in the work I do for a large portion of my career, and it's kind of a bummer as a content creator because I always feel like the content creator knows what they're going for more than somebody who's maybe watched it once, who wants to tell you where it should go. So I think that's awesome, and it shows with the show because you guys, it's really well done. It's fun, and I know you guys, and it kind of captures your personality too. So I really think like overall, you guys have captured lightning in a bottle with this, and it's in my opinion the most entertaining show in the hobby, and I mean that because there aren't many shows in the hobby where it's actually there's storytelling involved. A lot of it is just product or number based, and you guys have that, but it's also based around like real life stories, and I love that. So
well, thank you.
Congrats on putting this out, man. I'm happy. I'm happy for you, Matt. I'm happy for you, Ty. I wish you all the success in the world with the show.
What people don't know is that you helped kind of guide us early on, so we thank you for that. All the texts and stuff saying, hey, you should do this, you should think about that. It was actually really helpful. So
I mean, thank you. That what they came to me kind of with a loose concept, and I was like, it sounds awesome. Essentially, here's maybe a couple things that I would suggest. Take what you will and go with it, and here they are. I have nothing to do with the success they've had, but I'm happy you guys are having, really awesome success, and I hope you guys will see this. Before we get to the show plug, though, I have to ask you the question I ask everybody on the show. Okay, so, and this is a total tangent, but let's have fun with it. Okay, where do you think the 2018-19 Prism Black Luka Doncic lies today? Do you think it is in a private collection somewhere with, some mega millionaire who doesn't care about social media or doesn't have an Instagram account? Or do you think it is in sealed product in some dusty warehouse somewhere just waiting to be opened?
I think it's somewhere between episode 10 and 20 of Chasing Cardboard, where we will uncover the Luka Doncic 101.
The perfect segue. Hey, well, I'll tell you this. If you guys are able to uncover this, we're going to have you back, and we'll talk about that at length because I'm obsessed with this card. But so you think it's still in product?
I think it's still in product. I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would make sense for the person holding it, if they did, to not ever say anything until they're ready to sell.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of creates that artificial demand for the product. But
that's true.
I think it's out there.
Yeah, I really want it to still be in product so that there's still a chance that guys like us could buy a box on a whim and, open it, or buy a collection that has a box. I do think a lot of people probably held on to that year of Prism.
Yeah.
Because things started getting hot. There are people, and you guys know these people, that just buy unopened product every year of certain products, just put it on a shelf and let it sit there. But there are with case breaking, so much product has been opened too.
Sure.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And I would think a break, if it went through a well-known breaker, we would know that it's at least been uncovered.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I can say this with certainty. We've been contacted by at least a couple people where we've seen what they have in sealed wax. And we haven't worked out the deals yet, but there's hundreds of boxes still from 1819.
Real? Oh, Prism.
You know, I think to your point, I think there's more than we think out there.
Yeah.
Not a lot, comparatively speaking, right? But there's still more than you think out there.
Okay.
So I really think it's out there waiting to be opened. And I hope we're part of that. I really do.
I love that. Yeah. Matt and I joke about this all the time, but I would love to do a series where you're just trying to find that card. And whether it's in a collection and you're turning over stones or you're opening, I mean, who could afford a show where all you do is open 1819 Prism? But anyway, it would be fun. You can imagine.
It'd be fun.
Okay, so let's tell everybody how they can connect with you and find Chasing Cardboard on the interwebs.
Yeah, so you can go to chasingcardboard.tv to our website.
Chasingcardboard.tv. Okay.
You can go to YouTube and just type Chasing Cardboard.
Okay.
When we first started, there was a competing series that was not associated with us at all.
Oh, really?
But we've controlled the algorithms at this point, and now you type Chasing Cardboard, you're going to see all of our content.
Good deal.
Yeah, so you do that. We're on social media, Twitter, Instagram. We've tried TikTok. It's basically Matt dancing around to get views. But that hasn't worked. Yeah,
Okay,
I've watched it. Yeah, you can find us there. And collections at chasingcardboard.tv if you're interested in contacting us about a collection.
Whoa, collections at chasingcardboard.tv.
You got it.
If you have a tip or if you have a collection you want to sell, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And how many emails do you get a week on that?
We get 3 to 5 of decent collections.
Really?
Yeah.
3 to 5 a week?
Yeah. I would say we take one of them maybe serious per week.
Yeah.
Some of the others don't qualify for us to travel.
Here's my 88 tops.
Right.
Yeah,
fly on out here. That doesn't work. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Well, Ty, congratulations
Thank you.
on everything. I'm so happy for you guys. I want this show to go on. I don't know that I want it to go personally and selfishly. I don't know that I want it to go to a TV network because I don't want them to mess with what you guys are doing. I feel like it's so pure right now. It's a great product, but I'm sure it would still be awesome. I would still watch it and DVR every episode. So, dude, thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Are you going to be at the Dallas Card Show this weekend?
No.
No. Okay, you're just in town to look at some collections.
Correct.
Awesome. All right, so next episode of Chasing Cardboard comes out.
What are we at?
This will be Friday.
25th.
Okay,
Yep.
the 25th.
25th.
Awesome. Okay, episode 7.
Episode 7.
Awesome. You guys go check it out, chasingcardboard.tv.
Cool.
How about Chronicles football, dude?
We should open a box of these.
I
Maybe
think
2.
we should. We have 2 right here, dude.
You want to do the honors?
Oh, yes. Thank you, man.
So, Chronicles
There you go.
NFL has lots of cool brands
Lots
in it.
of
as they usually
find
do.
2 autographs and 1 memorabilia card. I'm excited.
Do you remember Timeless Treasures?
I do remember Timeless Treasure.
So, you know
I may have
Timeless
worked.
Treasure
I
is
may have
in-
worked on the first Timeless Treasure.
Did you really?
I did.
So, Timeless Treasure is in this version of Chronicles.
This is?
Yeah, it's in here.
All
So
right,
I'm excited about that. Good
I'm
luck.
super
Ooh,
excited.
this is a fat pack.
Here we go, Jalen Waddle. That's one of the base Chronicle cards. Ooh-wee. So I love all the different stuff in
Well. Timeless
Did you pull
Treasures,
one?
Devontae Smith.
there. Man,
People will say that was rigged.
it was on cue, baby. Here we
That
go.
is
Flux.
cool.
I know everybody talks about Flux. There's a Trevor Lawrence Flux.
So something else that I really like in this version of Chronicles, because obviously each Chronicles is a little bit different. We don't include all the same brands depending on the year. They have Gridiron Kings in this, which is
I know, I saw that too.
really good looking card.
So I'm separating all mine out, and so far I'm up to 5 different designs. How about that?
Oh, Flux is cool too. I'm a big fan. Flux.
All right, so, ooh. And I pulled, of all things, Dan Hampton. So there are some legends in there too. Look at that.
I pulled Zach Wilson.
Wow.
Watch your mom around this guy.
Was that the same one that? Okay. Yeah, did you show Gridiron?
This-
There's Devontae
Not
Smith.
yet. All right. Oh, what is this?
I love
I'm not familiar with
I love
this
the
one.
Gridiron King.
So, Dynagon, I thought that was misspelled when I first saw that. Is that a set that
Come on, Dynagon.
So Dynagon is another brand that's included in Chronicles.
Here's kind of a wow.
Let
me see that one.
It's good for signaling aircraft.
Oh, that's cool. Well, this is Score.
Heard of it?
This one has an optichrome, like you can see, kind of technology to it. That's pretty cool. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I've opened a couple of these. I hadn't seen some of that. I hadn't seen that one. I hadn't seen Dynagon.
Whoa. This is it. Another Zach Wilson. Ooh, oh, well, you gotta love Prism being in here. So I got a Prism.
Oh, yeah.
This is a silver Devontae Smith.
Well, I won't show mine because I got Rondell Moore, but I want to show a clear vision. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like the clear vision. That's pretty.
Oh, cool. Legacy. Jamar Chase, Legacy rookie. That's a nice looking set.
I know. Look on the back. Is that numbered?
Nope.
Yeah, it is right there.
Oh, it is out of 49. Thank you.
Oh, yes! My guy, dude. I'm telling you. I pulled this guy out of every single. I am the world's
his Kellen Mond PC is amazing.
Kellen Mond PC color. I get him in every box. He's out of this one's out of 25, man. Wow, Prism Auto.
Hey, he's got a decent auto. That's nice.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, Kyle Trask, Flux. Big fan of this set. I love the basketball version of this too.
Chase, how low can you go?
So far, Timeless Treasures and Gridiron Kings are my favorite brand that are in.
Okay, I got something here. And the other guy that I pull, Najee Harris. I have between Kellen Mond and Najee Harris, I've got the market cornered, man.
You know, I think everyone has that athlete that they end up pulling in every product.
I know, right?
Justin Fields.
Oh, I gotta show
Score.
I gotta show this one because this is my guy. Now this is the guy that I want to pull, Micah Parsons.
Nice. Go boys.
Got the Cowboys going there. I'm gonna put that one in the Scotty pile right there, baby. Last one.
So oh man, all right, I'm gonna have to give you one of these. My favorite thing about Chronicles, in addition to there being a variety of brands, so you get to see a lot of base rookies, there's tons of rookies. It's one of those products where, there's other products where you're lucky if you get a rookie or two per box. It is the opposite with Chronicles. You're pulling multiple rookies in every pack. So I got an auto here from Marshall Yonda.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally certified. Another brand.
I got a Prism of Kellen Mond, but
of course you did.
It's a parallel version though, so that's pretty cool.
I've got one for you.
Oh, yes sir, Micah. Hello. Woo. Woo. I'm shaking. You see that? Look at that. I'm shaking.
Okay, that guy.
Well, actually, it was. We just had a mini earthquake, so that's why I'm shaking.
Do you think people do the shake on purpose? Or is it just such a close-up that anyone would be shaking?
Well, I mean, it depends on how much you had to drink the night before, but yeah.
All right. Oh, is this another? Oh, nice. Jalen Waddle rookie out of 99.
Boob. Is that Dak?
That's dope.
So yeah,
that's an elite.
Here, I want to show this one just because I love Gridiron Kings, but Justin Fields with the hair, I love how they capture some of that. It's pretty cool, man. That's yours, so if you want to sort that.
Thank you. All right. Oh, whoa. Very cool. So the
is that a
Dynagon? No, it's a base.
Just a regular?
Mac Jones. Our guy Mac Jones.
Oh, that Waddle was an auto. I heard you said Waddle.
Yeah.
So your two Yanda and Waddle.
Yep. Did you see the picture we posted? Mac Jones wearing the Panini T-shirt. It's pretty, and holding his dog on his dog's birthday.
There you go.
It's awesome. Yeah. So
we made good shirts.
We do, man. You know,
And we make good cards.
But we make great cards and great shirts.
And great shirts, man. I mean, we'll get you one.
One of these days. Do we make a Hawaiian?
Man, no.
Okay.
I'm never making a Hawaiian shirt.
All right, Scotty. Guys, next week we're potentially opening National Treasures. There's fingers crossed it'll happen, but we'll be telling you more about the National coming up, and
we should do a live one from the National.
I'm in.
Oh, we should do one
Let's
from
do
the
it.
National.
Yeah, let's do it. It's done. You heard it here.
Wow.
Scotty's in.
I may or may not be at the booth very much, so
we'll be there.
It might be more. Yeah, it might be more. You can't get me on camera, so. But we might try. How about that? We'll try.
All right. I know where you'll be spending time, so
right.
we'll find you. All right, guys. See you next time.